Good evening, and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. My name is Monty Martin, and this is the Dungeon Dudes weekly 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons live stream campaign.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Wilhelm von Kessel, the human swashbuckler rogue. And we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Donitis playing Rudy Whitaker, the Shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Wrath, the Azamar Warlock.
Thank you for joining us once again. Or if you are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome back. Look where we are, in my basement, playing in person again. We are all fully vaccinated. Our public health restrictions have lifted here in lovely Toronto, allowing us to do this once again. And we have upgraded a bunch of our equipment and stuff. Hopefully it's looking good. Now, of course, there's lots to report based on that, because thanks to the amazing success of our Kickstarter and our great back support of our patrons, we have been able to invest in some new gear and equipment for this live stream. But this is the first time many of it's being used, and there's actually some more stuff that's on its way. So bear with us. We're still figuring everything out. There might be some technical glitches. If anything goes wrong over the course of this evening, our apologies in advance. We're still figuring out how everything works now again. So we do appreciate your feedback on ways that we can improve things or change things up. I can already see a few things, that maybe, we'll adjust. But over the next couple of weeks, we'll be hopefully getting used to using all this again, and we got some fancy surprises coming up very shortly. Hopefully we can show it off. I'm really excited about some of our new cameras that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of tests lately, and trying to just get this all set up for you.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting to be back in the basement, wedged between so many other human beings. Joe can actually reach over and touch me now, and
Reach out and touch me.
that's living the dream.
Yep. So if you haven't watched any of our work before, Callie and I post new videos every Thursday and every other Tuesday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for dungeon masters. So you can head on over, check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
And you can join us live on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. But also keep in mind, you can also check us out on YouTube afterwards, or you can check us out as an audio-only podcast available at your favorite podcast locations. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play.
You may also be interested to know that we wrote a book and did a Kickstarter for it recently.
Yay!
For those of you who were supporters of the Dungeons of Drakkenheim Kickstarter campaign, be sure to check your email this week, because emails will be going out for our backer kit, where you can finalize your shipping information and your pledge and get any extras if you want to get an extra Rat Prince plushie or some more delirium dice or any good stuff like that. If you missed out on the Kickstarter, though, we are doing pre-orders. If you head on over to Drakkenheim.com, that'll take you to our online store, where you can pre-order for basically just after the Kickstarter starts shipping. So if you did miss out on the original Kickstarter, you still have an opportunity to get some cool stuff. With that, let's return to the shadows.
Drakkenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the ruins. We were wrong. Insidious horrors have crept out of the shadow of Drakkenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that accursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the shadows of Drakkenheim. When last we left our heroes, they have been in the midst of their adventures into the small village of Kesselholm, where the ancient estates of House von Kessel were built. In a stunning revelation, it turns out that Wilhelm is in fact Wilhelm von Kessel, one of the grandchildren of King Ulrich IV, the former ruler of Drakkenheim. Not grandchildren, nephews. Yeah, nephews. That's correct.
Yes.
No, you go back one. Yeah, because you're the king's brother's son.
That's right.
Yes.
Nephew
Yes.
of the king of Drakkenheim.
After an emotional reunion with Elias Drexel,
Jerk.
our heroes resolved to make a temporary alliance with the former commander of the Hooded Lanterns and his forces in Kesselholm in order to take down Countess Constance Kleinkessel, who has now who may be the vampire lord of Kesselholm now. Having fled the castle and rescued Elias Drexel in the process, our heroes are now concocting a plan to strike back at the Countess, which began with a little bit of a high-stakes wagon heist where they stole the weapons and delirium shipment that the Hooded Lanterns had brought to Kesselholm and had parked at the Moose and Squirrel Inn. There at the Moose and Squirrel, our heroes found that the Steel Fangs, the mercenaries in the employ of the Countess, are in fact a group of werewolves. Having narrowly evaded and snatched the cart of delirium out from underneath the claws of the Steel Fangs, our heroes are now about a minute away from the inn as Big Rudy hauls the cart, and several so Wilhelm and Wrath have leaped onto the back of the cart. Rudy is hauling it in her enlarged form, and Wrath has hypnotized the pursuing werewolves temporarily. But you've got about a minute before Big Rudy is no longer Big Rudy, and before those werewolves are snapping out of their hypnotic pattern. So what are you going to do?
I'm still pulling the card as Big Rudy.
Right.
We have less than a minute now. Let's do this.
I start like rifling around in your cloak. And I'm like, you have these patches. Are any of them horses? Do you have horses here? We need horses.
I drew little pictures on them to help me remind me. And it's
What's this one a picture of?
don't worry about it. that's Bruce's. And I'm going to reach in and pull out dun 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 dun. Dun. I can't find it. A riding horse with saddlebags. And
That is in the
it is one of the patches in the robe of useful items. So Wilhelm and me are frantically searching my body, and we find the patch, and I rip it off, and I throw it 15 feet ahead of Rudy.
the horse springs into existence, galloping on the way. What are you going to do?
I have a rope, and I'm going to tie the rope to the saddle bags. Is that how we attach a
You know what?
a cart?
I think you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like somewhere along the way you know how to attach a horse of to a cart.
Yeah, yeah.
We
And
might
even
not,
even if it's
but
like
Rudy does.
the Jerry Riggs version of the horse attaching to the cart.
So I attach it, and then is it secure? How do I know if it's secure?
Give it a pull.
Okay, so you are going to take the rope and just latch the riding horse that is just spawned into existence
Yep.
from a magic coat
Yep.
to a cart.
Yep.
As it's in motion, or are you stopping the cart?
I'm stopping the cart.
We're doing like a quick like
quick-
you know
like a
like when
pit
when
stop?
race
Pit stop.
cars-
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
We're doing
Okay.
a pit stop.
Yeah.
Quick
Okay.
pit stop.
So
perfect.
what I will have, so you take out the cart, you stop for a moment, lash the creature to
I'll help.
the cart.
I'll help. I have rope as well.
Okay.
I can help do the other side.
Okay. Who is taking the lead on lashing the undoing the rigging here with the rope?
I will, I guess.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay, give me an animal handling check.
Woo!
Oh, good.
Well, that was... Hold on, I'm gonna use the blue one. 10!
Okay, so you tie your horse to your cart just as you shrink back down to normal size.
All right, boys, I'm gonna ride on this horse and make sure it goes as fast as lightning. Sound good?
Sounds good. I'm going to tend to your leg's still bleeding, Wrath.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm gonna tend to Wrath.
All right. I hop on the horse and
I'm fine. I can
go.
work on it.
All right,
Yeehaw.
each of you can roll me a d6.
Classic.
Woo-hoo.
2.
4.
Okay, as you ride through the main drag of the village, the hooded lanterns on the other stolen horses at your side. The cart barrels through the town center, and as it does, the other Steelfang warriors haven't quite put together what's just happened, and you are able to proceed through town just as the howls begin resounding from the nearby wilderness and from the village square. Where are you going to take your spoils?
There was the camp that we were at with the hooded lanterns. Should we try to bring it back there, or are the Steelfangs going to follow us?
I wouldn't go back there if we're trying to lead them away.
Where do we lead them to?
Yeah, the Elias Drexel said he was weak, and
Worst case, he dies.
Hey, that's what you wanted. This is perfect. Let's bring it back.
No, sorry. It was a bad. We shouldn't do that.
Okay, then we shouldn't go back. I'm sure the wolves can smell us.
I mean, this changes things. Our original plan was to grab the cart and take it to battle the Countess, but I don't think we knew that the Steelfangs were werewolves. Come to think of it now, their name seems a little more appropriate. I think I understand.
Yeah, they really wore it on their sleeve there.
Yeah, there were a lot of clues now.
Looking back.
I mean, I say we keep going as far as we can, but I don't think staying in the middle of the city is gonna help town. It's gonna help. Do we have allies in the city that can help us?
The city's too dangerous now with the Steelfangs all around, but with most of the Steelfangs here,
What about the
druid.
Fastbender? Or the druid, yeah.
we could go there.
Yeah, he had this air of...
Now, didn't the druid originally attempt to send us to the lodge to meet with the Steelfangs?
He did, yeah.
I'm not sure where the alliances are anymore. I think this needs to be investigated further.
Everyone seems to be a monster.
So you're currently driving the cart in motion out of town. If you're going to have to choose a direction now, otherwise you're going to risk not keeping in motion enough and possibly risk them catching up to you.
Does
Rudy's driving.
what is she called? The Leia Fastbender?
Yeah.
Does she have a stable?
She does not have she does have a servant's outbuilding, but her manor is in town.
Ah.
Yes.
The closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm. Not a rule, just a fact. What if we need to deal with this Steelfang situation?
We do.
What if we ride this cart right out to the lodge?
Directly to him?
I mean, we just rescued the cart from them, so that might not be a good idea, but I don't know
Should we
where...
check what's in the cart first,
Yeah,
just to make sure?
Can we do a quick inventory?
I say we go to
You guys can all roll me a d6.
Ah!
Wilhelm and I want to...
6.
4.
4.
Okay. There are Rudy, give me a perception check. There are a group of massive wolves chasing after you. They are gaining on you really, really quickly. If you don't give me, whatever direction you go now, they're going to catch you within probably the next minute. They're moving faster than your cart can go.
I say let's go to the lodge then. They're gonna get us anyways. Might as well go see if we can meet them where they're at.
This is a situation that needs to be dealt with. We might as well go and talk to their leader. And since they're chasing us, maybe they won't kill us if we present ourselves as not a threat.
Maybe.
Okay, so
It's a bad plan.
to
Sounds
head towards
logic.
the lodge, you'll need to turn around. And so as you start turning the cart around, the hooded lanterns are like, "What are you doing? I thought we were meeting back up with the commander."
You go on ahead. We'll meet you there.
The commander's too weak to bring all these wolves his way. You let him know where we're headed, to the lodge.
All right.
We'll split up. That'll just defer the wolves.
We can't
All right.
lure the wolves back to Elias Drexel. They'll eat them alive.
Alive! Alive!
Okay. So in that case,
What happens when we're put on the spot?
so this is the
My
kind of
leg hurts.
this is like the country road leading out of town. So you're kind of passing by like an old farmstead and a little quaint little cottage and several of the trees around. There's the dirt sort of road in the middle. Move those hay bales just anywhere.
Actually,
ones in the middle
are
there.
any of the hooded lanterns in the wagon with us?
Or
Or did they all were able to get horses?
They're kind of riding two to a horse.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with that,
Sweet.
yeah, the this might, we'll see how this goes for you guys. Interesting decision.
I'm laying down. I had a big day. Oh, baby.
Okay. You've got maybe 4 or 5 rounds before they catch up to you. What are you gonna do before they kind of get in range, like engagement range, and essentially?
I mean, we could hide in one of these outbuildings and see what's what. And
Like to clarify, they can see you and you can see them.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think hiding's going to do it, Rudy. They're gaining on us.
All right. If we can fortify, then at least to maybe talk to them rather than going straight into battle, maybe that'll help us a little bit. Get them to take us back to their leader.
Yeah, and how many of them are there?
There are 5. 2 of them are gigantic wolves, the size of dire wolves, with kind of this bright, almost orange yellow fur. 2 of them are smaller timber wolves that are black furred, and a third is kind of this gray-haired wolf that is the size of a regular timber wolf. But the 5 of them are very clear, and they're not werewolves. These are wolves that are rushing towards you in pursuit.
Raph, you're basically one of them. Talk to them. Tell them that we want to speak to them.
I'm worried they haven't finished the job and that they'll just go after my other leg. I don't know if I have... Can I talk in wolf? I try to speak in wolf.
Do you know wolf?
I
That
draw upon the...
I think you're making a lot of assumptions about what's going to happen to you based on the fact that you got bitten by a werewolf.
Yeah. Rat thinks he can maybe...
Wrath, you're not part of their pack. They're not going to accept you. They're still going to try to rip your head off. So,
Raph, that sound didn't even sound
You
like
guys
a
can
wolf.
roll for initiative.
Oh,
yay.
oh no.
This plan is going well. Back at it.
Okay.
It's fine.
This is a terrible plan.
It's fine. Oh, is Bruce?
He's here.
Is he here? Good to see you.
Okay. I hope you guys rolled well for initiative.
No.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Great. First up, what do we got for initiative?
24.
24 for Wilhelm?
22.
22 for Rudy? Those are cheater rolls. Sound like cheater rolls to me.
No.
2.
That doesn't sound like a cheater roll.
That was.
I wasted my crit on initiative.
You have to remember, I have a weapon of warning and a +8.
I
There is no cheater roll.
rolled a 1.
Just really.
Rather's just so focused on his he's trying to. He's still trying to use.
Trying to change.
Okay. Okay. So this is what we got.
It's gonna work.
Did I get all of them on the board? No, I didn't.
So right now we're trying to turn the card around.
Are we? Yeah.
Right.
Are they coming from in front of us?
Yeah, you guys are in a collision course with each other.
Yeah. Yes, because we turned the
Yeah.
card around and we're going back.
And so because Rudy is driving the wagon will move on Rudy's turn as long as Rudy you drive it, basically. Okay?
Okay.
Wilhelm, it is your turn though. What are you gonna do?
I thought we were trying not to kill them. This is confusing.
We're trying to kill them.
Yeah,
We want to avoid killing them.
you can kill.
We
these
also want to
ones.
avoid them killing us.
Yeah, it's more important.
Oh, this is tough.
I don't know what your book says.
Nothing about fighting wolves, oddly.
You can add it in after today.
Wilhelm is going to ready an action
Okay.
to fire his crossbow at the wolves if they leap to attack. But I'm going to use my turn to yell out to them and say, We would like a parley with your leader. We demand the right of parley. And I yell that out and I load my crossbow just in case.
Okay. As you do, the creatures. So one of the creatures, the gray and white wolf in the center, shifts its form. It is a rather lithe woman, wearing animal pelts, with bits of armor and clearly parts of a steel fang uniform. Perhaps an officer of some kind. She has a darker complexion and a shave. Otherwise, though she's kind of her hair is partially shaven, except for these long braids that are kind of in an erratic pattern over her hair. And as she shifts out of her wolf form, if you want to replace the middle wolf with that one for me, Kelly, she's holding a spear that is tipped with mistletoe, and several other herbs, and she's got a shield on her back. No, not the big one, the middle one at the back.
The
She's
white,
not-
the one in the back.
Yeah. And she says, she cries out, "Very well, we can parley." And as she does so, bolts of lightning start appearing in her eyes. And a cloud of storms starts forming up in the air or above you, with rumbling thunder in the air. But if you move, you're not going to like what you're going to find. You're going to get shocked by the result. Rudy, it's your turn.
I immediately pull on the reins of the horses to stop them.
Okay.
And I say, if you mean what you say, we're willing to talk if you are. But no, if you're willing to fight, we're going to put up a fight. We don't want to hurt you. That's not our intent. But if we can talk, let's talk.
Okay. With that, the others of the group of wolves, they stop. They're moving towards you, but they all still their hairs are standing on end and they're growling audibly, like they are ready to just leap forward at a moment's notice, and attack. Wrath, what would you like to do?
Is the wagon sort of covered?
No, the wagon is not covered.
Okay, so they can see me. I stand up. Some of us are wounded. And I'm going to, because the cart is stopped, I'm going to exit the cart and walk up beside towards the horses.
Okay. Anything else?
Our quarrel is not with you. It is with the Countess.
The woman responds, if you have a quarrel with the Countess, you've got a quarrel with our employer. So, if you want to talk, here's how it's going to go. You can walk away from that cart right now, drop all your weapons, and if you want to talk to the Countess, you can talk to her in chains. That's how it's going to go. And in return, we'll let you live, at least until we get you to the Countess. But then you're going to have to bargain with her.
What if we want to bargain with you? Who's in charge amongst you, and who do you serve?
Listen to this guy. We serve one master. And that's gold.
How much gold?
How much you got?
I wish Blackjack Mel hadn't robbed me. I'm gonna... You're speaking to Wilhelm von Kessel, heir to the throne of Kesselholm. Technically, everything in that castle is rightfully mine. I can offer you wealth beyond your wildest dreams. I have the Hooded Lanterns already working with us. They too have gold. If you want delirium, we have delirium. If you want weapons, we have weapons. We have the means to outfit your company better than you currently are.
Make a persuasion check.
So persuasive.
13.
Okay. You can all roll a d6.
4.
3.
5.
Okay. You expect me to believe that? Wilhelm von Kessel is dead. The von Kessels are dead. If you're gonna lie, at least make it believable.
Damn.
How did he die?
They all got... do I look like a historian to you? They all got killed in the Civil War.
Not all of them.
Listen, if you're seriously doubling down on this, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I step forward off the horse and I say, it's interesting that you say you have only one master and that being gold. And I point to her mistletoe and I say, are you not a follower of Cromac? I think he'd be mighty disappointed to find out that you think you don't serve him.
Make a persuasion check.
Nine.
You know nothing about Cromac.
I know the old gods are not impressed when they are not given their proper respect.
In the wild, the hunter pursues its prey so that it may live and survive. In civilization, the smart pursue money so they may live and survive. The hunt for food, the hunt for coin. The hunt is all, whether it is the hunt of gold, glory, or food. That is the way of Cromac. If you understood anything about Cromac, you would know that.
I'm going to hop off the cart, and I'm actually going to start walking towards them. And as
Stay right there.
I stop, listen, you may not believe me. I've been in hiding for several years. The slaughter at the castle of Kesselholm happened during the Civil War. Elias Drexel attacked my family. I escaped. I'm back now to claim my home. You have a choice. You could take us in chains to the Countess. I don't know what she's offering you, but I can tell you that she is a vile creature and a liar. She will deceive you.
If you really are who you say you are, then you'll fancy a hefty ransom. Drop your weapons, surrender to us, and if someone comes to pay your ransom, we'll let you live.
I will not be surrendering to you. I'm offering you a choice. You could benefit from this.
Does this liar speak for you, too?
This is, unfortunately, the heir to the von Kessel.
Unfortunately.
Yes, he dabbles in the woods and lost his eye, so you go,
It's a nasty looking wound on your leg. Lovely blessing upon you. If you help us take in your friends, we'll show you how to embrace Cromac's gift.
seriously?
Yeah?
I must confer with my animal companion. What is it? What happened? What is this feeling?
Bruce looks at you and says, you are at a crossroads. If you will embrace this gift, you will walk it on your own path without me.
I will never leave you, Bruce. No mortal would ever draw me in more than you.
She looks. Are you talking to your cat?
Sorry. This is I know this is tense, but he is the rightful heir, and this gift I must refuse. You are not tempted by just gold. There is more. Do you search for power?
Listen. You're going to lie to us. You're going to deny the gifts given to you. You're going to make up some stories and insult Cromac with your ignorance. We're done talking. You got one last chance. Come quietly. She points up to the clouds. Or we can teach you another lesson.
The Countess, you know her castle. Yes? You've been there?
Are you going to come quietly? Because I'm done talking to you.
I think you should take us to I think you should take us to the lodge. And I'm going to cast suggestion.
Okay. Make a... I have to make the saving throw.
From my ring, it's my last
Okay.
DC 16.
I got a 25.
Oh, man. That didn't
With
work.
that, we are going to jump right back into initiative order. Wilhelm, what do you want to do?
I shoot her in the face.
Okay. As you cock your crossbow, the storm clouds overhead kick up with a flare. Make your attack roll.
I'm going to use steady aim
Okay.
to make it with advantage. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
That does hit.
Yeah.
24 damage.
Oh, come on, Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So I take 24 damage
Yeah.
now.
And I fire again.
Okay, go for it.
14 to hit.
That's a miss, I'm afraid.
All right, fair. Can't. I mean,
No, good hit. Good hit.
Okay.
Great
So
hit.
the readied actions, their readied actions are going to go.
yay.
So they're each going to move their speed towards you.
No.
Oh, hey, luck points. I have 2 of them. They're right here. So I have a visual representation. It's
She
great.
didn't listen.
No, that if they die, then I'm going to explain myself to the rest of them and be like, sorry, man, I offered.
Okay.
I really tried.
And then everyone. All right, cool. Her turn. She is going to call lightning.
Uh-oh.
And it is going to go right on top of the horses, Wrath and Rudy.
Oh, no.
I'm so glad I walked forward a little bit.
Yeah. Shadow
So
behind
her as she reaches in where the blood wounds out from her wound, lightning crackles out of the wound, and all around her, and she holds her spear up, and a bolt of lightning just comes down from the storm cloud with a crack. You can each make a dexterity saving throw, everyone except for Wilhelm.
12.
15.
Rudy fails, but Wrath succeeds.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't have been able to make my second shot anyway because I used steady aim. I gotta remember these things.
Okay. Cheater.
I'm trying. It's a lot to keep track of. A lot of bonus actions happening here.
So focused
Oh, that's a painful call, lightning. Okay. So that's going to be 30 lightning damage from the upcast call lightning. And can you make the riding horse, can it survive this?
We could use the, okay, if I go to the war horse stats for
It's
PD,
a riding horse, so it has 13 hit points. So
I think even if it spectacular, no,
Yeah.
it hit it. The bolt of lightning.
yeah, the
just,
bolt of lightning
it
just direct.
struck- It was through the horse.
Smell of horse meat, just fried horse meat, fills the air.
Ha! You missed.
Yeah, there's the bolt of lightning behind you, and then you
And then I slowly turn around.
like Rudy's hair standing on
And
it.
there's just glowing horseshoes on the ground and like this blackened circle.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
It looks like we're walking
no.
the rest of the way. And I'm at the
Oh,
yeah.
Rudy, it's your turn.
Ooh, okay.
Rudy.
I am going to. First of all, as a bonus action, I'm gonna second wind a little bit, cause ouch. 16 at least.
Okay.
Kelly, can you remove the horses? They
Why? What
detach.
happened?
They detach from the car.
From reality.
And where did the other one run? Behind the building?
Yeah.
Yeah, she ran.
Oh, dear. I'm just gonna-
Then I am going to.
There you go.
Thank you.
Gosh. Be Big Rudy again. I guess I
Yeah.
shift behind and I say, guess we're taking on some pups today. And I go forward. Where's the measurement?
Yeah, this will get you 2 of those.
And I stare down these wolves as they come rushing towards me.
Okay.
And that's it.
So there's 2 big wolves, 2 baby wolves, and lightning woman. Easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 3 of us.
The 2 bigger wolves rush right up to Rudy, activating their pack tactics, and attack with advantage.
Rudy, you okay? You're big though, right?
I'm big. I don't think that means anything for getting hit, though.
Getting a 24 to hit with the first attack on the first wolf,
Yeah.
and a 25 to hit with the second.
Yep, I can't even shield that.
So that'll be a grand total of 22 piercing damage from 2 attacks, and you need to make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
18.
Okay, you are not pulled prone at all. No. But yeah, they're pack tactics.
Oh, I guess I get advantage on that too, but that's good.
The other two, they are going to, they are going to dash right up to Wrath.
Hey!
And one's going to get right behind Wrath.
Of course.
Rude.
That's them. Wrath, it's your turn.
Boy. Oh boy. Well, I'm just going to try to ignore them.
Okay.
And take shots at the big wolves.
Okay.
So
That'll be done with disadvantage.
I'm going to try to shoot over the little wolf, and I get a 23. Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
with disadvantage?
Yeah. So, big wolf on the left
Okay.
is going to take 11 force damage, and I'm
Okay.
going to knock it back 10 feet.
Okay. That'll be just that short.
And shot numero 2
Which one?
gets a 12.
That's a miss.
Um,
As it gets pushed back by the first blow, it ducks to avoid the second shot.
okay. We tried to do an inventory. What's in the cart? Do we know?
You haven't had the opportunity to open it up yet.
Okay. Then I stand my ground
Okay. Wilhelm, we're up to you.
How far? Like, okay, if I bonus action dash, can I reach the lady?
It depends on where you want to go. Because,
What is this the 30?
yeah, that's the 30.
It's gonna be close.
In that case, I'm just going to move,
Okay.
and I'm going to shoot at her.
Okay.
Shooter. Sometimes you get really lucky.
Yeah, I'm going to use a luck point. Oh, lucky's a broken feet. Shut up. I rolled the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So the stack
It's a
of
15.
There's a stack of it's a 15 total to hit.
Yeah.
So you wasted your luck point.
I wasn't sure.
We had to try.
Okay,
A
it hit.
15 was iffy.
It hit.
Oh, did it hit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everything
you
for
rolled 215, so it's great.
everything for the con save.
I don't can't get sneak attack on that
Yeah.
though.
Yep.
So that's going to be a whopping 8 damage. Don't make your con save.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, make your con. I mean,
I
roll
rolled it. I got a 16, so I'm still concentrating on
Way
my
too
call
high.
lightning.
That's
yeah.
way too high.
Way too high.
I'm gonna fire again.
Okay.
Now I know a 15 hits. So how about a 14?
I love D&D.
Does a 14 hit?
No.
Is it too late to use my last luck point?
Yes.
I love D&D.
We tried. We went for it.
Sweet. Wilhelm weeps. No, he doesn't. He's fine.
No, he's strong.
He's great.
He's brave.
Okay.
Rule number, I don't know, something.
Oh, you guys are all spread out. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So am I gonna call down some more lightning? Yeah, I'm gonna call down some more lightning. Okay.
We can hear you.
I think I hear her mumbling
yeah.
over there.
She's saying, Wilhelm.
She said something about more lightning.
What did she say?
More lightning.
Oh no, I don't want more lightning.
No.
She is going to go around onto the other side of the house.
Of course she is.
The cape.
And she's gonna call lightning down on Rudy.
Rudy. Does it hit the wolf?
No, she can aim it right behind Rudy.
Darn it.
Wow, that is precise lightning.
Yeah,
That is really.
the power of Chromac is very, very exacting.
I'm much more tempted now than I was earlier.
And I have to roll
Dex.
Dex.
Guys, by the way, the
Yeah.
AC is 15.
Yeah.
It's 15.
15.
We figured it out.
15.
That's a saved throw, so that's not 38 lightning damage.
Yay!
It's just going to be 19.
No. I go down.
Oh,
God, no!
Rudy, big Rudy.
Okay.
What do we do when Rudy goes down?
I don't know.
Rudy doesn't
Rudy,
go-
it's your turn. Make your death save.
No!
Do it.
Hold on, no, I'm using the blue one.
Do it.
5.
Oh.
Wow. Would I have to roll over?
That's a failed death save.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Rudy. That's your turn. So, the big ones. Seeing Rudy go down, the one standing over reverts to his human form. He's a mangy-looking warrior with a pair of battle axes, and he reaches down, pulls Rudy up by her hair, takes the axe right up to her throat, and says, "Do you like your friend alive or dead? 'Cause you can drop your weapons now and go quietly, or I'm taking her head."
I dropped my weapons.
I lower my hands.
All right then. The woman begins walking forward, and the others shift out of their wolf forms.
Oh no.
The two beside you, Wrath, push you to the ground.
I let them.
And they start hog tying you.
I have to allow it.
And the other pushes the other one that has Rudy. He lets his axe go, and he takes out. He's actually got like they're all mercenaries, so they've all got their gear, and he actually stabilizes Rudy. So you're stable at 0 hit points. And the other walks up to you, Wilhelm, takes your and picks up your weapons and says, "Get down."
I get down, and as I get down on my knees, put my hands behind my head, I say, "Rule number 8, a man is only as good as his word, and you have my word that if you work with us, I can offer you something good. This doesn't have to be the way this goes."
Sure.
Very well.
So they work slowly. Or they work quickly. Sorry, rather. And they tie you by both your hands and your feet, with rope. Tying your hands behind your back and your feet to each other, and then they take one piece of rope, wrap it around into your teeth on your mouth. And then they take another, and having seen Wrath casting spells, they rip off a piece of one of their cloaks and blindfold Wrath. And you can feel them, and as you do, you hear the woman call out, "Let's take that horse over there, hitch it." They said, "You could have left the horse alive." And the woman speaks back, "Well, I wasn't sure if they were going to try to make a break for it. I didn't want to risk it." True. They caused a real mess back there. Yeah. Well, at least they haven't killed anybody. So you will take the wagon back to the lodge, see what Rickard has to say. So you feel them loading you into the wagon and tying up the thing, and the sound of a few people getting into the seat of the wagon to begin driving it away.
So after all this, they're just going to take us to Rickard, which is what we wanted to do in the first place? Why did they just take us to Rickard?
As they drive the wagon, the woman sits right across from you, Wilhelm. She looks at you in the eye and says, "If you aren't lying, you better hope that if you aren't lying and what you're saying is true, you better hope someone's around to pay your ransom after all the trouble you put us through. Let's just see here."
I apologize for shooting you. You left me no choice. It wasn't my first option.
Yeah, well, thanks. She starts rifling through your gear, finds one of your healing potions, and drinks it.
Oh,
You're welcome.
that's smart.
Feel free.
She takes the rope out of your mouth, and
Thank you.
And she takes another one of your healing potions and says, "Don't make me regret this." And she gives it to Rudy.
Just want you to know, rule number 30, truth always has a way of coming out. This will be resolved in time, I'm sure.
Look at she's still going through all your stuff. Crossbow, magical? Academy make?
Yes.
Okay. Sword, magical?
Yes.
Okay.
I understand you're just doing...
How many potions do you have?
Which health potions?
You got any rings, any jewelry? What do you got? Where do I find it? You have any weapons hidden on you?
I understand you're just doing your job, but you don't have to be this...
Rifles around. You guys are armed to the teeth. By the gods. All right. Her axes, they magical?
I'm awake now, I guess, because I had a healing potion.
These are nice.
They are nice. Don't touch them.
Hey, Rolf, you want new axes?
No. You're making...
Yeah, I like them. They're
My-
pretty nice.
My hands are behind my back, right?
Your hands are bound behind your axe, and your legs are tied together too.
We could still have an understanding here. If you keep stealing our stuff, it's going to make Rudy angry.
Consider this our payment.
Payment? No, I'm offering you...
Did you take all my axes?
Yeah, she's taking all the axes. The armor's pretty beat up though. What about this guy? What magic items do you have?
Oh, none. Whoa. I want to get out of Wrath's body and go into.
You notice that they haven't taken your familiars.
So I want to go into.
Pardon?
Because I went unconscious. Houdini's gone.
No, your familiar doesn't disappear just because. Yeah.
Bruce, and Bruce is just following the wagon. So I'm sort of out of it.
Okay.
So I'm just like, they can't tell, but like my eyes are rolled in the back of my head.
Real quick, they take all your potions.
No. Okay.
They take all your gold,
Okay.
and unless you have taken steps to hide or conceal weapons on your person, they take those too. They don't realize that your cloak is magical, so they don't take the pouches out of it.
What about my cloak?
If you're wearing it, if it's a piece of clothing, they don't take it. But if it's an obvious piece of equipment, they do.
Hooray.
Okay.
I can hide well.
Did they take the ring of spell storing or the rings?
They as actually they're going through, they lift up the hand and they say, you hear her say, "You're an academy mage." You hear her utter a curse under her breath. So we can't kill you. Okay. All right.
An academy mage, royalty, and a soldier is who you've captured here. So do with that what you will.
You know any fancy spells that you can call up your friendly mage friends?
He can summon ores.
I'm gonna come back
They would find the sending stone
on
Rudy. Yeah. All right. Well, they say to the other, if he's an academy mage, they'll pay well for his ransom. That means we at least get something out of this deal. It's worth it, even if the other one's lying. Probably is.
What, in terms of where I am in the cart, is my back facing a wall or anything like that?
You're all in the cart, with in a row, all on one side.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if I can get away with this.
And the woman, she's going through. She's taking your equipment, as the others are. The horse is pulling it, and the others are walking by.
Did one of them take my hand axes and put them in a bag?
Yes.
Okay. I want to summon one of my hand axes to my hands behind my back. So I'm bonded to a hand axe and one of my larger axes. And I take my hand axe.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
And I want to know if they
Interesting.
notice it leaving their bag and coming to my hand.
Okay. Roll a d6.
Does it like disappear and reappear?
Or is it like the Thor hammer thing where it like flies out of the bag?
I think it teleports back.
Nice.
Even better.
Yeah, that's way more stealthy than if the bag just...
I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2.
Okay. It doesn't seem like they noticed that the axe was taken back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure my hands, if I have the ability to.
Yeah, it teleports instantly into your hand. Yeah.
And I want to make sure it's under my jacket. Let's say, like, my jacket's kind of like.
You'd have no way of doing that
way? Okay.
because they've tied your hands. So like, if any of them, like, it's enough that the side of the wagon, like, if you push your back up against the side of the wagon, you can keep the axe in hand.
Okay.
But beyond that, and just hope that they don't see it.
Okay.
Do I notice? I guess I'm sitting next to you. So I'm going to start just talking to try to distract them away from Rudy. So, how long have you been working for the Countess?
It's making small talk.
And as you
She groans. Maybe about a year now, year and a half.
Is it going well for you? Is she paying you well?
Surprisingly,
Well, that's good. That's good.
it's easy work for a backwater. To be honest, this is the most action we've seen here in the whole assignment, so at least it's not boring now.
Again, apologies for that. Although, maybe you're welcome for making it exciting, but our goal is not to harm any of you. It's just to get the Countess out of the castle.
What are you doing here?
Getting the Countess out of the castle.
Why?
Because it's my castle.
Right. Okay. So you're either telling the truth or completely nuts. Great.
I've already explained the rules to you.
I mean, often it's the same thing, though. Don't you know?
Let me put it this way. The people in charge around here are not doing a very good job and are playing with things beyond their control, and we're here to put an end to that.
Well, let's just see if you're telling the truth. I wonder if you left any notes in this little book of yours. Oh, this is weird.
There is a note in there.
There is.
There's a note at the back.
What is the what does the note say?
I wrote this a long time ago. Let me just pull this up. I didn't actually. This was a note that I wrote in case Wilhelm died.
As he's doing this, can I start to try to use the axe to split my bonds?
Yeah. You can give me a stealth check with advantage.
Ooh.
8.
Okay. So
That's not with me.
she is looking through Wilhelm's book and doesn't notice.
Okay.
You're lucky. Unlike someone we know.
Right?
I thought it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
My dearest Wilhelm, these are troubled times, and I have nothing to offer you save for some words of advice. I fear in my heart that I won't see the spring. This war will claim much. My only hope is that you can carry my teachings with you. Try and be a good man, help those in need, and survive. These rules are to guide you on your journey through life, and I hope they prove to remind you of the best parts of me in trying times. My hope for you is that you are a better man than I. You carry with you a sense of wonder, responsibility, and courage. I am proud of you. I know you will help many people. No matter what this war claims, be true to yourself. Find kind people willing to help those
She
who
stops reading there and bursts out laughing. That is so sad, so touching. Wow.
The signature at the end. Love, your father, Manfred von Kessel.
Give me an insight check.
Uh, 20.
Okay. Looking at this woman, she looks like she might be in her early 20s, which means that she would have been 7 at the start of the war. And she definitely is someone who has never interacted with royalty of any kind at any point in her life. Even if you were wearing your family crest, she probably wouldn't know or care who you were.
I'm still hoping.
Yeah. So like she's someone that just doesn't like putting it together. She's just someone that it's never going to matter to her, even if you were, because
That's fair.
yeah.
Wilhelm's trying to be polite and work with her. It's not going well, but he's trying.
Am I still gagged and
Yes.
and blindfolded?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you mind ungagging my 2 friends? I feel like I'm doing all the talking here.
Not the mage. No, we're not ungagging.
Oh, he's harmless. I've seen him try to cast spells. He's awful at it.
Can't even do an or.
I
we
lied.
saw him hypnotize all of the boys back at the inn.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be so susceptible.
Right. They take Rudy's gag off.
That's better. Thank you. That's
Hairball?
disgusting, whatever you put in there.
Well, it's a little bit of a trek to the lodge, but enjoy it. Hopefully Rickard doesn't decide to tear you all apart.
I don't think he will.
Is there anything that any of you would like to do as the cart is journeying? Because she kind of, having been satisfied with everything, her searching through all your equipment, she hops back onto the driver's seat as the others continue walking forward. A few of them, they meet up with several. They pass by the moose and squirrel, and a few of them take some horses that were left there, and so now they're all up on horses. They tie another horse to the cart. And so it's being pulled by 2 horses now, and they ride along towards the lodge.
Did they take my book?
They did.
So are we in the back of the cart alone?
You are in the back of the cart with the delirium stuff, and so with the cart of all with like the crate of all the delirium weapons and stuff like that you were there to steal in the first place, and they're hauling you back towards the lodge.
Rudy, rule number 20: don't fight a battle without the upper hand.
Agreed. I also take my axe and I start to undo your binds as well, if I can get mine off.
Okay. Make another stealth check.
Regular with advantage.
Because you're trying to help someone else, it's not gonna be with advantage.
Woo! 25.
Okay.
Crit.
You're able to like bring the axe over and undo his bonds.
And it's just us in the cart with the woman.
The woman and the man who's now taken Rudy's axes. They're driving the cart, and one of the riders has the bag with all your other taken equipment on them.
Is it like all in the bag of holding?
Yeah, they figured out it was a bag of holding. They stuff all your gear in there, and one of them is carrying it.
That's our stuff. Can through Bruce, can Bruce sneak into the back of the cart?
Yeah, Bruce can make a stealth check.
21.
Okay, Bruce is in the cart.
The cart with the stuff with all the delirium.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? It's like can you describe the?
Yeah, it's a large shipping chest made of metal. And it is bound on the outside and the inside, and it is wrapped in chains and has several padlocks on it. Ostensibly, Elias Drexel has the key.
Interesting. Okay.
Can I give Wilhelm the axe to get wrath free?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
pass it along.
Pass it along, and I start.
I'm totally bound and gagged. Bruce is just sitting there watching.
And I start.
Make a stealth check. Remember, your feet are bound as well. You haven't undone those ones yet.
16.
Okay. So all your hands are unbound, but your feet are still tied.
Pass it back.
Just call it back.
Wilhelm,
Just-
make a sleight of hand check.
No,
Just
actually,
call
I
it back.
Call it back.
Okay,
I
okay.
call it back to
Okay.
Start doing my feet, but I want to make it like I want to cut one of them, not to the point where I've taken them off, but that I could essentially like
Hold them in place?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because I don't want them to know if they look back and see like the,
Yeah.
the ropes are just everywhere, and then I hand it back to Wilhelm, and I kind of want to say the same.
I do the same.
Okay.
And then I.
I'm gonna lift my eye blindfold so I can actually see.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Can I have Bruce do it?
Sure, Bruce can do it. Yeah. Bruce
Bruce is just gonna like bite the
cat like goes up to you. Yeah.
and try to pull it up. Getting a 9.
You're lucky.
I am.
I'm not.
Okay, yeah.
So at least I can see.
And then Bruce bites your nose.
And
You know how like a cat like will lick your face and then all of a sudden it'll change its mind?
You just
yeah.
one too many pets or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and he just like
Yep.
bites me. I want to, in your minds, do we wait to speak to Rickard? Or do you have a plan to escape?
Nah. None. Because I guess I can't talk directly to you.
Just nod your head yes or no.
I shake my head no, but to what question, you don't know.
Oh no.
Was Rudy, did you have something in mind?
Can they hear us when we're talking?
I'm just making casual conversation. Rudy, how's your day going? Did you have anything, any plans? Any plans for the day?
Going terrible. I wish I could go home.
Okay.
Shut up back there.
Well, you ungagged us. You said it's a long journey. We must be able to make slight conversation. Just ignore us.
She turns around and says, "So what's in the box?"
What's in the box? I don't know. We haven't looked. We just knew that this cart.
But you stole it.
Yeah, it belongs to the Hooded Lanterns. We were reclaiming.
Make a deception check.
I'm not fully lying. I get a 19.
So you attacked us, stole a cart, and you didn't know what was in it?
No. We came to reclaim a cart. You attacked us. There's a big difference. We harmed nobody.
Why are you working with the Hooded Lanterns?
To reclaim the castle. The Hooded Lanterns work for Drakkenheim and the Von Kessels. This all checks out.
And you know,
So you're not Hooded Lanterns, though?
No. Wilhelm von Kessel. I've introduced myself already.
Are you spinning that lie to the Hooded Lanterns?
That's a trap question. If I say yes, then I'm agreeing to lying. If I say no, then that alludes to not telling the Hooded Lanterns are aware of the truth.
They are. Okay. That
No,
changes
wait,
things.
hold on.
All right.
One of them is. You're actually the you're the fourth person I've told.
Shortlisted, actually.
You are a terrible liar.
I don't lie. I'm very bad at it. Although some people do say I'm quite charming, so
Should have knocked them all out.
persuasive. Not very deceiving though. Look at this face. I mean,
Is your friend damaged?
I mean, as you see, he's been hit in the face at least once. So
stabbed right through the eye.
you don't know what kind of damage that has done in the long term. But I mean, I've known him for years, and he seems like a rat fella. So
I'm trying to be cordial here, and you're making it very difficult. And I'm afraid that our alliance that we could be having is wearing thin. So I suggest when you bring us to Rickard, you let us explain the situation. Hopefully he is more reasonable than you, and he listens, and we can work out a deal, because that's what we're here to do.
All right. Well, we'll be at the lodge soon. Rickard will figure out what to do with you. And that's where we're going to take our break. And we are back from our short rest. We have finished our consumables, restocked on potions. I got lots of extra potions from stealing them from all you guys. And we're going to play some more Dungeons & Dragons.
woo!
Yay.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're not worried.
The cart rumbles slowly along the dirt path, passing through the forests and the trees as a light breeze goes through the branches. Someone turns around to you and says, "So, you're finally awake."
Is that a dragon?
Quiet back there, they say. As the cart rumbles through the woods, on what is a cobblestone paved pathway, that though it is mossy and overgrown, still shows signs of some passage. As you roll through the verdant forest in this area, up towards a large clearing. The clearing, surrounded by lush trees, is a grand estate. It is a 3-story manor house of mortared of stone and fine timbers, with a slate shingled rooftop and several chimneys, smoke coming up from each of them. Surrounding the main manor are several gardens, flower boxes, and a high wall with a wrought iron tipping around it. And there are rows of pillars and statues around the manor house. Several fountains as well, and gardens here and there, and pillars all about. Not far off from the main building, there is a servant's house, a cottage, as well as a set of stables as well. Wilhelm, you know this place. You know that this is a 3-story manor. It does not have a basement. Aside from like a pantry that is quite small. This was used as a hunting lodge, usually by your father. Occasionally your uncle would visit here, once in a while. It was built by, a great grand uncle, maybe about 100 years ago. The main floor, from memory, is where the great hall, the drawing rooms, the foyers, and the kitchens are. The next level above is where the suites are, and then there is a master suite on the topmost floor.
Am I allowed to, would I know of anything I maybe left in this location? Like maybe I carved my initials in a tree with my cousin on a hunting trip, or, I don't know, like something from my childhood. Would I know anything about this place that maybe I left that could help
Roll
my
a d6.
story? That's a 6.
Okay.
Acceptable.
In that case, you may tell me 3 markers of your childhood memories here. One needs to be in the building, one on the property, and at least one needs to be inside the building, and one needs to be somewhere on the property, and then one you can put it wherever you want.
There is an old book that I used to love to read, that was sort of a picture book about fantastical creatures of the known world.
Okay.
It had pages about the various dragons and trolls and all sorts of other creatures that great warriors, had fought. It's one of my favorite books. It's on a shelf in the house.
Okay.
In the tree out back, before a hunting trip with my cousin, why am I forgetting his name? Leonard von Kessel.
Mm-hmm.
We did carve our names in one of the trees, just kind of we were best friends and we thought it would be fun.
Okay.
Upstairs, one of the rooms has a bunk bed, and I always like taking the top bunk.
You would never find a bunk bed in a house like this.
Okay, fine.
So I'm going to veto that one.
All right.
But in one of the bedrooms, there is a loose floorboard with something hidden inside it. What is it?
It's a little box filled with some of my favorite memories. It has,
Rocks for skipping?
well, it has a very shiny rock that I found once when I was a kid out here, as well as just some trinkets, an old toy, like an old wooden figure of a hunter
Okay.
who wears a green cloak.
Okay.
And it was my favorite little toy from when I was a child.
Like a little action.
Like toy soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, it
Cool.
looks kind of how Wilhelm ended up growing up to look
Okay.
like.
Those details in mind, the cart stops in place. What are you going to do?
I at one point Bruce put the blindfold back on just in case they came back in.
Okay.
So I'm just I don't know what's happening.
Wilhelm is going to stand up and brush off the shackles. All right, now that we're here,
They see this as you stand up, and brush off your bindings. They immediately draw their weapons.
no need for that. We're here to speak to Rickard, yes?
She says, "I don't know how you got those off."
And I stand up and I drop my axe.
Let's talk to Rickard, shall we? We mean you no harm. We're unarmed. Well,
That was a big mistake.
why? We're here to talk to Rickard. Yes or no?
Yeah, you can talk to Rickard with your hands bound
Why?
because you're our captives and we're making the rules. And if you want to argue, I'm going to slap you upside the head with my axe.
I mean, we're already here. Why? There's no harm. I could have shoved you off the cart. I could have kicked you under the cart. You could have been trampled. There were many options with my hands unbound, but I didn't harm you. I would not harm you, and I will continue to not harm you.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm going to use my luck point. Come on, luck point. Yes. 18.
Oh, you're not going to harm us. You're not going to be able to harm us. But you're also going to do as we say. Understand?
Very well. There's no need for all this.
No, there is. There is. There completely is. And if you don't understand that, you're not going to talk to Rickard at all.
Very unreasonable person, you know that?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Do what you must.
All right. She,
I wasted your unbinding. I thought it would be a funny scene.
they collect Rudy's axe again, and they tie you up again.
We got out once, but very well.
This is a long shot, but can I minor illusion the bindings?
Not under these circumstances.
Okay.
No, they're observing you too closely that they would not be able to see. Like, also, you're still gagged, so you. Oh wait, minor illusion doesn't require verbal.
It's material and somatic, but maybe like
Yeah. You have no material components.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Sorry,
even need
guys.
any.
Yeah.
I didn't even need any.
I thought an
want
18
it.
would have done it.
So they
Close.
they take the they take you off the cart and lead you into the manor house. Coming through the double doors, you are in a grand foyer. The ceilings here are the floors here are kind of a tiled stone with great arched windows that have lovely upholstery. Still, it's in bad shape because no one's really taken care of it or cleaned anything here. There's a a fair amount of dust, and some of the furniture is a little bit worse for the wear, but things haven't been like ruined by any stretch. What you can see as you come into the foyer is there are several paintings all hung throughout the house, depicting various. Some of them are just works of art, but there are portraits of Manfred von Kessel, one hanging right over the front of the entrance place, leading inwards. There's 2 suits of plate armor that are flanking either side of the hallway, and there's a kind of a finely balustraded staircase that leads up to the upper level from here. And there's another set of fine double doors that lead, from what you recall, Wilhelm, they lead into the dining room. And then there's actually 2 entrances into the dining room from here. As you come into the foyer, there's a few other members of the Steel Fangs, and they look and they say, "Rhea, what's going on?" And she summarizes what happened, basically, and she and asks, "What's the old man up to?" And they reply, you know him. He was out all night hunting. He's sleeping in.
Master bedroom upstairs, 3rd door? Or are we meeting him in
Shut up.
in the main hall? It's just through these doors here.
Shut up. And she slaps you across the face.
Just being hospitable. You are in my home.
Take him up to the 2nd bedroom. We'll tie him up, and they've been getting crafty, so we got to keep an eye on them directly.
Darn it.
There's 3 of the Steel Fangs. They take you up to the 2nd floor, where there are 4 bed chambers on this level. There's kind of a nicer. There's several smaller ones and 1 larger one here, from what you recall, Wilhelm. And then there's also the bath chamber as well. The main hall on the next level also leads off to a pair of sitting rooms and balconies. And then there's another set of stairs that lead up to the master suite, and then the attics as well. So they end up tossing you into, roll a d6.
2.
End up tossing you into a room that used to be used by your sister.
Oh.
And they push you in up against the wall. There's a canvas bed in here. It's a wide room with a beautiful wardrobe, and the bed is filthy now. But they push you into the room up against the wall, and the 2 Steel Fangs cross their arms, standing in front of you.
Can I request my old bedroom? It's the next one over.
No, you can't. Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you heard? Then they all start laughing. Have you heard? This guy thinks he's the king of Westamar. He's acting all high and mighty, saying he's Wilhelm von Kessel. And they all start laughing. Well, Your Majesty, if you're so high and mighty, we'll
Yes.
make sure that we prepare for you the most sumptuous feast.
That would be splendid. Thank you.
They seem perturbed at how to respond to that.
I just turned to you and I'm like, since when did you start acting like royalty all hot and muddy?
You know, they're in my home. I'm trying to play the right cards here and hope that the truth always has a way of coming out. It's in the rules. We will figure this out, Rudy.
So what I
Rat,
will
that's
do-
absolutely correct. Couldn't have said it better myself.
As long as it doesn't cost me my head this time, all right?
I assure you, the Steel Fangs will see the error in their ways. They will. Okay, I'm kind of hoping here, but never lose your cool. Never lose your cool, and things will work out.
You got it?
If you could line it up for me, Kelly.
I have a book.
Is that how that goes? It's not exact. Is that...
Yeah, it overhangs.
Close. It's close.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes...
Beautiful. There we go.
With that.
Nice.
So yeah, you're in the furthest room, the three of you, the furthest room from me.
Ah.
Yeah,
And there are 2 guards watching us.
yeah.
Is there
Yeah. The woman whose name you gather from them is Rhea. She leaves you in the room and says, "You all just sit tight right here. When the old man gets up, you can talk to him."
Are they in the room with us?
The 2 guards, yes,
Yeah.
they are. Well, Your Majesty, what do you think of your fine accommodations?
This was my sister's room, so I mean, not ideal, but
Oh, which was your room?
the one next door.
Oh. We're using that as a den, sorry. It's a bit of a mess right now, Your Majesty. I'm sure the maids will be around to clean it for you.
I haven't had maids clean for me in many years. You're sorely mistaken. It's.
you have maids?
I mean, I had maids.
You had maids.
As they're doing this, I want to go into Houdini's eyes and
Okay.
find my way around to the main bedroom.
Okay. So you can see there's the staircase up there, and then it leads to another level, which I will not put on right now, where there is up in the main bedroom. It is a large room it has its own sitting room on the other side of it as well. So the upper level consists of the bedroom itself, its own bathroom, and then its own sitting room. The stairs lead up into the sitting room. And then you have to go through the bathroom to get into the bedroom, because the bathroom is also like a wardrobe and dressing room and whatnot.
And is there windows on the outside?
There are windows all around.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a richly appointed room that has been covered with animal furs and smells a little bit between a mix of between wet dog body odor and perfume. It's an awful mix of smells. As you kind of look through the curtained window, you can see that there is a huge man in this fine canvas bed, like the kind that has like the sheets around it, like the curtains around it, and he is covered in blood. The sheets are covered in blood, and he is lazing about, snoring extremely loudly. And you can hear this feeble knock at the door of someone going, boss, wake up, boss, wake up. And you just hear this howl as he grabs a wine bottle and throws it at the door and says, "Go away! I'm sleeping."
I'm just gonna stay at the window for now. Keep an eye on
Okay. So, Your Majesty.
You keep saying it like that. I don't know why.
Well, isn't it? What are we supposed to call you?
Wilhelm's fine.
You're no fun.
Thank you. I've been told that actually often. Wrath tells me all the time. You still have him gagged. There's no need for that.
No, I guess we could cut his tongue out. No, he's an academy guy. We're not supposed to harm them. You know how bad that is for business if you piss off the academy? It's like, what? It's like, hasn't anyone ever told you? You can't cross if you ever run into any of the ones. See the rings? He grabs Wrath's hand. See the rings? That means he's an academy mage. That means the ransom on these guys, man, oh man. The last time the company pulled in, about half the guys retired because of what they paid in ransom for these guys. It depends on who you get, but if this guy's he's got counts there. Oh, he's only 4 rings. They're probably not going to pay too much, but one time we brought in one had 8 rings, And the money they paid. We all got magic swords. It was great. You all got magic swords? I mean, I lost mine in a bet. You didn't all get... Like, there's this back and forth. It's like, nobody else has a magic sword. Like, they start arguing over the top.
Who got your magic sword?
So this argument continues between the two of them over the fib that the one is telling the other.
How much were you paid for the 8 ringed?
Oh, I mean,
don't do it
it
in
was
numbers.
a number.
I mean, if it was a large number, you would probably know exactly how much. It's probably one of your prized moments.
I mean, I got a bonus. It was a lot.
How much? Did your employer tell you that you couldn't talk about how much you make?
Employers actually aren't allowed to do that. But
That's the joke.
that's the. He says. It was a lot. You know, I still got some of it left, actually.
Well, congratulations. So, in this exchange that we're having, you're the trustworthy one, is what I'm being told.
He definitely gambled. The other one says, doesn't matter how much it was. He's flat broke now. He probably gambled it all away.
Yeah, I imagine so. You two are good company. This is pleasant. Much better than these two.
What about you?
I'm still like in familiar
Oh, you
size, so I'm just
still are?
She's sleeping.
Granny here's zoning out. What's wrong with her?
She's very good at just what's that called where you just fall asleep? Yeah, that.
I don't like this. We got an old lady. We got a guy who says he's the king, and an academy mage. What do you? This is the two of them now. The conversation between the two of them goes to a little bit of uncertainty about like what to do.
I sense the uncertainty here. I want to alleviate any, like, we're not going to hurt you. We're hoping to recruit you, actually.
Recruit us?
Yes.
What do you mean, recruit us?
Well, it seems that the castle has been taken over by a rather vile countess. We hope to rid this place of her and claim the castle for ourselves. We were hoping that we could offer you something better than she is offering you, and in turn you would help us in storming the keep, so to speak.
Are you really the king?
If there's a way that I can prove that, I will talk to Rickard, and hopefully he believes me, but this is rather new information. I've been keeping it secret for a very long time, but it seems that in this location of all locations, it's important that I explain myself to hopefully coerce you into understanding why we are taking the castle back. I need that castle. It's very important to me, and it's being held by a vampire, and I don't much like that.
Well, smart little mouth.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to try to do as you wait for the old wolf to wake up?
No, I just make small talk with the guards.
Okay. Each of you can roll me a d6.
Actually, there's one thing I want to do.
Okay.
As Houdini, I go to the far enough away that I'm not going to get hit with an axe, but I start hooing as loudly as I can
Okay.
at the sleeping
Okay.
werewolf.
And what is the cat gonna do?
His name is Bruce. Please address him by his formal name. It's not just a cat. He is going to stay vigilant. It's a long way of just saying he's not doing anything.
Okay. Each of you can roll me a d6.
3.
2.
4. Okay. A few hours pass, and eventually Rickard Steelfang rouses himself. He gets up, and he just as it approaches dusk, actually, and comes down the stairs, and you hear some talking and some rousing about, and lots of kind of chaos and disarray as the Steelfangs all get themselves in order again, and you can hear the sound of them preparing dinner and a few whoops and cheers as it sounds like several of them have come back from hunting in the woods. And you hear a voice cry, "Yeah, we bagged an elk. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Oh, yeah, it's good. We're fine meal tonight. Boss will be happy." And as they as they do, there's the general commotion continues until eventually the man himself comes through the door. Rickard Steelfang is a huge man, with a massive pot belly, about 6 feet tall, and he has this long hair that is almost like a mane around him, and a braided beard. And he is wearing a rather steel breastplate, as befits his name, and wears a pair of blades crossed at his sides. He has a necklace of animal teeth around him that you recognize that some of them are definitely the teeth of monsters. And as he comes downstairs, he says to the two, "I want you to go downstairs, and I want you to grab that book, that painting off the mantelpiece in the sitting room, yeah?" All right. He comes in, and with this big muscled hand, he grabs Wilhelm by the hair, twists your neck up, looks you in the face, and just draws it in, and he smells you. Pushes you back against the wall.
It's been a while since I showered. I apologize.
And he sniffs again, goes over to Rudy. You got the old blood in your veins, don't you, Mom?
I do.
And he and he goes over to Wrath, lifts Wrath up by the feet, opens the wound, takes a finger, wipes some of the blood, licks it. Right. All right, then. And he rips the gag off Wrath's mouth. All right, then. Where's Elias Drexel?
Why do you want to know?
Answer the question, and we can keep talking more after that. I'll answer your questions, you answer mine. Where's Elias Drexel?
We left him recovering in a cabin, but we were told he'd be moving locations as to not be caught.
Where's the cabin?
Oh, there's so many. It's on the outskirts, I think on the east of town.
Thank you. Rhea! Cabin! Edge of town! Go now! Get them! Very good. Thank you for being cooperative. I don't indulge in ripping out fingernails, but I'm not above it.
Fair
Now,
enough.
who are you?
Wilhelm von Kessel.
Who are you really?
Wilhelm von Kessel.
Right. Who are you?
My name's Rudy Whitaker.
You fight in the war?
I did.
Who'd you fight for?
The Von Kessels.
What was your
Manfred.
unit? What was your company?
We were, well, not well known.
To remind you, your regiment was called the Ochtenwalder Regulars.
Oh, yes. We're the regulars.
The Ochtenwalder regulars.
That's right.
Were you at Toddsfeld?
I was.
You want a job, Missy?
No, I want you to let us go so we can continue the job that we already got.
I didn't know we had a veteran. You're cold-blooded. Wow. All right, then. Well, and you're an academy mage.
Yes.
What's your name?
Wrath.
What's your... You from... Which tower are you from?
Based out of what's the town? Tierhaven. I am Mage of Tierhaven, assigned to Von Kessel's as the sole protector of the line of kings.
That almost sounds legitimate. Give me a
thank
deception
you.
check.
Thank you. I've been crafting this all week. 21.
You're saying the academy knew about this one? Been hiding him?
They may not be fully aware of his heritage.
It's on a need-to-know basis. Only select members know.
You are now one of the few.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we?
Do you need proof?
We'll see about that. The two men come back with a portrait of Manfred and Wilhelm and Wilhelm's mother and sisters. This is a younger Wilhelm. He's 16 and he doesn't have a mustache and he has long hair. He looks at the portrait. He looks at you. He puts his thumb over your mustache.
Wait.
Visually?
I pull this off, and I'm like, picture an eyeball.
Oh no, you have to he rips the eye patch off.
Okay. Rips the eye patch off. Can you like minor illusion an eye? Can you like make an illusion?
Can't do anything.
Okay. All right.
He looks you over.
My hands are tied.
All right. Takes out a dagger, holds it up to Wilhelm's face, and shaves off his mustache.
Oh.
I growl at him. I'm not just like, don't you hurt him. Or his mustache.
Shaves the mustache off.
Sir, I am horrified.
Well, I'll be damned.
I feel naked.
You are naked.
I check. I've been growing that mustache since I left.
Since the day after that portrait was drawn.
It's not a good shave either. Like, he nicks you in a few places. It's just a really unpleasant shave.
Rickard, I would like to recruit you on behalf of the Von Kessels.
Now, you look the part. I'll give you that. I mean, you're older, you're missing an eye. When we bring Elias Drexel here, he'll confirm it, I'm sure. After all, I think he's the one that did in your daddy.
That's correct.
We were working that night, you know. There's something else. Something else, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
You were there.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, the time we were working for your auntie. But, you know, she said she had a special assignment for us. And, you know, coin was coin. Only downside to it was that she died before she could pay us, so we never got a cent. So I figure, if you want us to work for you, the Von Kessels already owe us a debt. Reckon good 20,000 gold pieces for assisting a royal assassination. You pick the tab up for that. You pay what the Countess is paying us. I think we got a deal.
You can receive the money once we've claimed the castle.
Wait, I see it. We'll help you take the castle, but then it's ours till you pay us.
I mean, there's enough in that castle to pay you with.
You're gonna give us the castle?
Not the property, but all of the items within. Anything that up to, I mean, it needs some redecorating anyway. There's paintings in there. There's treasure.
Well, and we work with the academy, and there's delirium there. Probably worth enough to pay that debt.
Delirium, eh? What's in the box?
You'll laugh. We don't know. I told you.
Well, we can't open it. It's arcane locked. It's magic
We
keeping it closed.
Rudy.
It wasn't my lock. I can't undo it.
Listen, there's been a misunderstanding here. There's no need for the shackles and the gags and the whole over-dramatic entrance here. We came to do business with you. We see that you're working with the Countess, and I don't very much like that, and I would rather you work for us. If it's money you want, money you'll get. If my name is Von Kessel, and hopefully we can prove that, then I should have an inheritance of some sort. I rightfully, by name, this castle belongs to me. This lodge belongs to me. You can own this lodge. This is yours. I don't need it anymore. It's no hunting trips in my future. So
you're promising us all this for what? You want us to help turn on Connie up there and do her in?
yes, we would like help. We will help you. We are valiant warriors. I mean, we were bested by your men, but you have to understand, we have yet to kill any of them because we were not looking to harm you. And I hope that is taken into account here.
How much are you worth the academy?
That is a very strange question.
All right.
But I can tell you that we know of a source of delirium that will pay you a fortune 10 times over what the Countess. She is a hoarder, and she keeps this power from you. This should be yours. You are the strong. She is the weak.
Is the Academy going to be okay with that?
We will help you. We will pay you.
So it's not your decision then, is it?
The
Are
Academy.
you working for the Academy, you two? That's what this is, isn't it? Some kind of weird shakedown.
I'm after my castle. And Rudy is a longtime friend of the Von Kessels, has fought for my name before.
Yeah, she has. Oh, boy.
Then you're aware of her reputation.
Oh, I'm aware.
Why does he say that, Rudy?
Well,
You've chopped off a lot of heads.
I have chopped off a lot. You know, my company was known for being quite the risk takers and
Risk takers. You guys were the bloodiest, most ruthless bunch of murderers and everything. I tried to pick up a couple of you after the war, but I mean, you guys were so messed up. I mean,
you know where the rest of my company was?
Listen. In the business, you know, a bunch of people went mercenary. A few of them have been all around. Some of them traveled far and wide. But I mean, the things you guys did.
That's the kind of stuff I try to forget, to be honest. And listen, my companions.
Why would you want to forget that? It was amazing.
It was ruthless, and I'm not proud of what I did. But Since you know what I did, you know what I'm capable of. So you
I
best be
do.
careful.
And you're one of the blood, too. I mean, you could be a proper mama wolf. You wanna... If these guys aren't paying you any good, you wanna... Listen, I'd marry you right now if you want. My wife died years ago. I'm single.
I think my husband would be not too happy with that. I've got my own pack at home. Thank you very
can
much.
Keep your pack at home. I got a pack in half towns in Westamar. That's no big deal. We could be on the hunt together. Oh, wouldn't it be fun? The taste of hot blood in your mouth. You could embrace what you were born with. I could show you.
Not with a brute like you. Disgusting.
Well, I guess I ain't the charmer I used to be when I was young. All right, then. So you wanted me to do the old double cross, then? So what do you say? We round up your friend Elias Drexel, we all go up, make do the Countess like you're all a bunch of prisoners, and I'm here with the prize sow to deliver y'all right into her hands. And the moment she thinks, oh, she's won it all, we turn right on them, just like it was your sister's wedding.
Oh, that hurt. Oh, God, I didn't expect that. Yeah.
Did you expect it then? Because it seems like it's a great plan.
It worked once before.
I like this. This is.
A bloodbath at the castle sounds great. Sounds like berries to me.
Is there no way that we could draw her out instead? I don't know if we're gonna do any good being in her own house.
Well, she thinks we're still working for her, and we don't need to draw her out. We just need to go in. I mean, if you want to attack that place straight on, it's a... They don't build them like that anymore. It's a pretty defensible place.
I know a lot of secret passages in that place. I know some other ways in, and we happen to have... your guards may have taken it, but there is a key to the a back entrance.
All right, that sounds... Now we're talking. So, what are we saying here? What's the collateral? What's the insurance? What happens if I get in there and, Connie's like, sweetens the pot? Because she's already paying us a pretty penny.
Do you have anything above money that you care to fight for? And I mean that, I know you're probably going to, I'm a big man and I like money, but listen, is there anything else? Like, if you reclaim Kesselholm for the Von Kessels, imagine your reputation.
Yeah, but, we already kind of got this reputation of turning coat a couple times. So, I mean, it's gonna make business a little bit difficult going forward.
And,
you know what I mean?
What about your reputation to your god? The hunter.
Yeah, it's Rhea's bag. As far as I'm concerned, I'm here on this earth with what Chromac cursed me with, not gifted me with.
We make what we do of our curses.
That we do.
What is it that you might want? Do you want to be the greatest hunter? Do you want, we can offer you things other than money.
I'll be honest. As you can tell, I'm getting long in the tooth. And the idea of putting my feet up in a cozy castle sounds mighty fine. Maybe you could make me Lord of Kesselholm. Your Majesty.
I mean, my goal was to reclaim the castle for the Von Kessels. What about Lord...
Listen, right now, you're only bargaining with hot air with me. And I ain't even sure I believe you all the way that you are who you say you are. You're the spitting image. But you got a mage with you. Maybe he's done something with your face.
Check out back. The old tree. Just behind the lodge. My initials. And the initials of my cousin Leonard are carved in that tree. We carved them before our last hunt.
What, 15 years ago?
Yes.
Who's to say you haven't been here since then?
How long have you been here?
I've been here like a year. I haven't seen any tree with any initials, but Bro, go look at that tree. You can take a piss while you go.
Master, there is a reason why we are here. The Academy has identified this place as the next city of Drakkenheim. Your way of life will forever change if we do not take back the castle.
I don't know what that means.
Have you seen the city?
Drakkenheim?
Yes.
Ugh. They have tried over and over to get us to go into that city. Ugh. Ugh.
And so you know what is there. You know the horrors, the
I know
evil.
how many people have met their deaths down there. I don't seem too enthusiastic to try. What are you proposing?
It is coming here. The reason that we are here, 3 unlikely fellows. There's delirium underneath the castle. So much so that it is warping and changing the landscape. This place that you know, these elks, this way of life that you have established, it is not long before it is gone. We have to stop this countess. Her hoarding, she is a danger to us all. If we can take back the castle, we can reverse this. We may still have time. This is not about taking back the castle for the Von Kessels. This is about preserving the nature that you so much so enjoy.
All right, then. He comes up to you, unties your bonds. We're not giving you your weapons back. And if you try what you did before, well, I'll be impressed. But don't try anything like that again.
I was gonna.
If we are going to storm the castle, I hope you realize we will need our weapons back.
Yeah, you'll get them back.
I reach out my hand. Do we have a deal?
Yeah, we got a deal.
There. Just like gentlemen.
All right, then.
That wasn't so bad.
Well, I guess we don't have to bring in your buddy Elias Drexel in chains now. You better, I'm gonna send one of my boys to go get him and bring him here with his pack, and then we can make a plan of attack.
They may prove to resist. Is there any way that you could send one of us to bring him in cautiously? If we are to storm this castle, we need all hands on deck.
All right. In that case, one of you can go. Not you. Not you. Yeah, you can go.
I'll go, boys.
I'm sure we'll be fine without you.
I see it in your mind, though, so then it's really creepy.
And
know.
as we go, I say, well, I'll be needing my weapons if I go. And
What
I
are you
summon
gonna-
my axe to my hand and I say, well, there we go. At least one of them's back.
You can take that with you.
I better
Keep yourself out of trouble.
get in the rest when I get back.
Yeah.
I hear elks for dinner.
Yeah, you can have whatever's left, Your Majesty.
Wilhelm will do just fine.
Yeah, they don't seem to get that. I don't think they're getting that.
No, it feels like they're almost mocking me.
Yeah, I think there's a hint.
So,
of
Rudy,
something.
they give you a horse. And you're going to go. What are you going to do?
I guess I'll ride back to the same camp that we had before. I don't know if they're there though.
As you ride back across town, you come up to the road, and there's several. As you come to the cottage, you can smell the other steel fangs in the air. And there's the hooded lanterns at the cottage, though they haven't attacked yet. And you're able to approach the cottage, and you come back alone, and there's shock from the hooded lanterns. Petra immediately runs out. Rudy, what's happened? Where is everyone else?
Well, the boys are back at the lodge with the rest of the Steel Fangs, and we've come to an agreement that they're going to work with us.
What?
They're going to help us take down the Countess.
By the flame, that's incredible.
Well, there's lots to be said of the situation, and to be honest, there's a lot riding on this.
The others that you freed from the inn, they said you turned around to go back towards the lodge and you got in a fight. What happened? They said they thought they saw. We were about to try and come and get you.
Well, it wasn't our finest moment, but we did get caught up in some interesting fights and got dragged back to the lodge, but we got there nonetheless. And well, we struck up a deal.
Elias Drexel stumbles out of the cottage as the night air, feel the night air around. It's getting cool. You talked with him,
We did.
Rickard Steelfang?
We did, sir.
Is he still fat?
Mighty fat.
Right. All right.
He's looking to have you come over. Luckily not in chains no more.
I've worked with him before.
I've heard.
All right. They were going to try and take us, weren't they?
They were. You're lucky you have Wilhelm to thank again for causing you less trouble. You owe that boy big time, you know that.
I do. Let's go to the lodge. He says, Petra, Ansem, I want the two of you to go back to Drakkenheim with my report. I don't know if we can fully trust the Steelfangs.
Of course not, if they're going to double-cross their current boss for none other than a word. You think at all I'm going to trust them?
Does your friend have any contact with the Academy?
We had contact, but they got our way of talking.
Right. You know this is a trap, right?
Of course I do. But we had no way out of it without our heads.
With the Steelfangs, they're going to walk us right into that castle with the Countess. They're not going to hold up any deal that you've made with them. We've got nothing. We're literally delivering ourselves back into the hands of the Countess with this.
We have our lives. That's better than not. That's what we got to work with.
All right. We're not going to have many opportunities to chat,
Agreed.
but you cannot trust the Steelfangs. If you've offered them anything other than gold in front of them, they're not going to take it. They work for coin, nothing else.
Agreed. They assume, well, Wilhelm told him who he was. And he tried to use that as leverage. And the fact that they'd be getting some of this place after he's gone and done and overthrown the Countess.
Rudy, the only thing the Steel Fangs like more than coin is killing.
Mm-hmm.
And they love a good hunt. And they love a trap. This is totally right out of what they do.
So, can we give him something to hunt? Better than us, I guess.
It's either that or be prepared when we go into the jaws of the wolf.
I don't know how prepared we're going to be, to be honest. We've been through a lot in the last little bit.
Do they know what's in the cart?
They do not. They're mighty curious, but they do not. But do you think that's either going to help us take him out or...
I don't know. All I know is that they're going to be watching us, listening to us, talking to us. We won't be able to discuss after this without them potentially hearing it.
That I'm wondering if it's not about defeating the Countess, but setting ourselves up to distract him and get away.
I don't know.
Using what's in that box. What do we fully have in there at our disposal?
Just bottled comets, 8 of them. They're explosives.
They sound pretty nasty.
They do. There's several vials of aqua delirium, aqua expurgo, several other weapons that there's a delirium forged blade, several hardened delirium tipped arrows.
So what you're saying is if we can get into this box, we can probably do something loud to get away.
Yes. If one of those bottled comets goes off, it's not going to be pretty.
All right. I think we can work with that. I work with some of the best chaos creators out there. So you give us access to that crate, and we'll do something about it.
We can't risk. We have to be careful with the risks that we take with Wilhelm. He is the future of Westamar.
I agree, but he can hold his own.
No.
You can't put doubt there, or else you're going to hold back his potential to help us in this situation. I've only gotten this far with my
It
life
has been
because of
over
him.
100 years since the Westamar's king was a warrior. Glorious. All right. Let's go before they get suspicious.
All right.
Meanwhile,
I am so scared.
These scraps of elk are great.
Oh, we're having very different conversations right now.
Yeah. I know you're scared. I'm scared too.
Listen,
you
Whatever-
guys are being watched right now.
whatever happens, I want you to know.
In your mind, I ask you, do you trust him? And then I say out loud, is this elk good or what?
No. No, it's not.
It's too bad.
You know,
It's a little gamey.
all elks that I have come across on this journey are not good.
It's badly overcooked.
But out of the 2 elks that we've eaten,
It's actually a bad mix between some pieces are really overcooked and some pieces are really undercooked. So you're basically getting blood and char.
no.
Oh. Now, have they unbound us at least? Like, are we...
Yeah, they've unbound. They haven't returned your equipment to you, but you are unbound. But you
Raph-
are being watched.
Out of the 2 elks that we've eaten since we arrived. This one is the worst.
The worst.
Other elks may have wronged me. But I feel better off eating those elks than I do eating this one.
I think I get it. I think I understand. And then in your mind, I say, "You're talking about the werewolf guy, right? You don't trust him."
Who?
Rickard? You don't trust Rickard?
Correct. Wait, I just said correct. Really bad, elk. Really bad.
The worst elk. You guys hungry?
The guy's over in the corner. He's got like this like the piece of the elk's leg, and he's like, and he looks up. He's like got blood and like char over his face.
Question. They seem to really enjoy the elk. If they were presented a better elk, and this elk were to no longer be an option, do you think they would like to feast on better elk more?
I think they will eat the elk that is given to them.
Then maybe we should consider getting them better elk.
I need to I'm gonna hobble over to the guy eating the big haunch, and I want to ask him, you, the one with the hunger, what will happen to me because of this, because of my leg?
You got bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who did it. I think I saw one of them. I don't know though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do
He
wound matching
pulls up
or.
his sleeve, and says,
This is where I got bit.
Oh.
and he shows the wound, and it's a wound that isn't bleeding, but it hasn't healed over.
Ooh.
And he says, all of us done it. Rickard. Well, you see, the thing is that first you'll start to have nightmares,
I've been there.
like you're being chased by a big wolf.
Hmm.
Then, well, full moon's only 6 days away. And then you'll have a dream. We'll be sure to let you out that night. Stretch your legs. And over time, if you're willing, you can embrace Cromac's gift. But, yeah, you can know you'll never be free of it.
Have you always followed Rickard?
No. I used to fight for one of the dukes down south, and we got into a skirmish with some of the Steel Fangs back then. Was when I got bit, and yeah, I didn't know where to go, so that's how I joined. That's how all the Steel Fangs joined.
And this Rickard, he has led this company as long as you've known?
Yeah.
Interesting. How was he bit? Have you seen the wound?
He doesn't have one.
His curse comes right from Cromac.
Oh.
You say that... Well, say that him and Rhea, this is Cromac's curse on them for not keeping the old way proper.
Interesting. You say, though, that he embraces it. It is...
We embrace it as much as we can. But, yeah, a few days from now, you know, it's not going to be a pretty sight. But don't worry, you'll be with the pack when you change the first time. We'll all be okay. Might not remember what happened. After a few years with it, though, you get used to it.
So I must join you. That is the way.
I don't see any other way for you to... Yeah, I mean... Until the... Now, Rickard's curse, it's your curse, it's our curse. Until his curse is broken, there's no hope for any of us.
I see. And I want to kind of step away from Wilhelm a bit more. And I'm going to get nice and close to this Steel Fang.
I suddenly wish Rudy was here.
This is all like what you know now. It seems like it will be what I will know soon too. How do you suggest I approach this newfound gift?
I'm gonna level with you. It's not much of a gift. Most weapons can't hurt you. Less magic. Learn to be scared of magic. You learn to forget what it means to have a good night's sleep. You learn to be hungry all the time. The only thing that feels good is when you've got your teeth sinking into a throat or a heart and that hot blood. Yeah, the hunt. That's all there is. That's the only time you ever feel alive again.
So this one, this king, do you think Rickard will feed on him? Knowing what you know about my changing and the other one, do you think that they will
I don't know.
become a meal?
Eventually, in this world, everyone's someone's meal one day. Whether it's the wolf or the worm.
Well, I'm going to go eat elk again.
Some of the boys, they're going to tell you it's a gift. Some of them are going to tell you it's a curse. Some of us had lives before we were bitten. Some of us didn't. Some of us, for those of us that were lost, maybe it was a gift. For those of us that weren't, it's a curse. You have to decide. Do you like what you have? Or do you hate it?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's only how you're going to find out.
Interesting. We'll see what the coming days bring.
Bruce touches your mind. Says, if you have this influence that is on you, Cromac, you smell like a dog. You sicken me. How could you let this happen?
Bruce, it's complicated. We must use this to gain closer and understand the enemy, you of all know that we must get close enough to bite the hand that feeds us.
You are already tainted by the wolf's blood. Listen to you speaking, groveling like a dog. If you taste of this blood, you may walk if you wish to set foot in Uthar, you will cleanse yourself of this taint.
How do I cleanse myself, Bruce?
Kill Rickard.
I will go up behind him and I will collapse his mind into reality. There will be nothing left of him or these steel fangs.
If you do not, by the time the full moon rises, you will become Cromac's puppet.
I will not let you down, Bruce. How's the elk?
Still bad. So you kind of just walked away there and had a chat and then kind of just zoned out. Are you okay, Raph?
In your mind, I have 6 days left until the end of everything.
What would you like to do?
We must kill Rickard. You do not trust him, and he helped kill your sister and your father.
You're saying
He
this like
must die.
this is your idea. Like we just had a discussion about elk. Again, this elk
Switching
sucks.
gears.
We replace the elk.
We're going to go back to Rudy. So you and Petra and Ansem ride off.
You get it. You get
Elias and about half a dozen hooded lanterns and you meet up with the steel fangs that were surrounding the cottage and head back to the lodge. There are howls as the two of you are about to talk. This is when Rudy comes back with the rest of the group.
Better elk.
There, as
some elk?
you are all brought down to the foyer where Elias Drexel and Rickard Steelfang regard each other. They give a cordial salute to one another. Rickard, Eldrick, good to see you're well. You too. It's been a long day. Eldrick, Elias says. We can talk about our plans in the morning. All right?
I think that's a wise decision. I think we could all use rest for tonight.
Well, now you're going to be our guests here, right? Well, we're going to keep a bit of a close eye on y'all.
Which is fine. I mean, if you need to post
Yeah,
guards
what's that?
outside our door, I don't see why not.
Can I have my book back?
Fine. He throws it at you. If we're going to work together, we got to know that we can trust you. Right?
Yeah.
That's right, Elias says. If you want to watch us, you want to monitor us while we're doing this. Way I see it, old man, we outnumber you. You want our help with that ragtag group of people? Look it, we work together, but put you this way. You're all sleeping separately if you want privacy.
by privacy, I mean someone not standing in the room. I think we can agree to that.
Agreed.
Very well.
I sleep better with my animal companions. There's a cat and an owl that usually are with us. Would you mind if they join me in my room?
Make a persuasion check.
That's going to be a 26.
Fine.
Thank you.
That way the boys won't eat them.
What?
With that, you can all head to your. They give Wilhelm your old room, and they put they put Elias in one of the rooms. There's 4 rooms on this floor. They put each of you in one. The rest of the Steel Fangs camp out throughout the rest of the house, and there's a guard posted outside each door.
Are the doors... Okay, if I'm in a room,
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the floor at the far end with a cat and an owl next to me, and I'm whispering,
Mhm.
there's a good chance that the whispers can't be coherent.
Unless someone has wolf-like hearing.
Oh, yeah, just had to throw that in. Wolf-like hearing. All right.
Did they give us back our equipment?
No.
Okay.
All right, so I'm sitting in the room with an owl and a cat.
Oh,
I don't know if you're here, but I hope you guys aren't even here yet, and I'm just talking to them.
which rooms are we in? Just so I
You guys can each pick one.
Okay.
I'm in this one because it's my room.
Wrath, you want to stay in that one?
I'll stay in. I'll stay.
So I'm there. And how are there wolves pacing outside the windows?
Yes, they are patrolling outside.
And put Bruce in there too.
Hello, my animal friends.
And how thick are the walls?
They're standard like house walls, so they're probably about 8 inches thick at their thickest, maybe a foot thick here and there.
I'm going to take my book
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to flip to... There's still empty pages in this book. And I'm going to write... Need to kill Rickard. Rudy, replace him. Take over Steel Fangs. And I'm going to hold it up and show it to the owl and the cat.
And,
Okay.
And as Bruce, I pawed it.
I think that went well.
Bruce just gives like a thumbs up.
I write
the paw.
questions and then show it.
Okay.
Gosh, I'm just looking to see if I have anything here. Can I if I'm gonna use prestidigitation, do I have to? It has to be within 10 feet, but do I have to see?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
I rip that page out of my book, I crumple it up, and I eat it.
Okay.
And they'd notice if Houdini flew from one window to another.
Yeah.
I assume. Okay. We didn't really talk about a way to talk to each other.
All right. Well, maybe you should all take your long rest, and we should call it there for a night.
Oh yes.
Okay. I will
And-
leave you with one last thing before we wrap up. Wrath, as you sleep, you dream of a great wolf. The wolf comes to you in the night, and it says, "Hello, little one, young pup. You think you're a kitten chasing after an old cat. Do you know who I am?
I know who you are.
I can show you a truth the cat cannot. I can teach you many things. Embrace your new gift, and I will show you the truth of this world.
There is only one truth. I have seen it, even through the keyhole. And it will be glorious. You are not the real. You are not the truth. You are but one in a million. One in a dozen. You're nothing. You're nothing and nobody. And I have found the one I follow. He has given me everything.
If you will not fight with the pack, you'll be devoured by it. And in the dream, a bunch of wolves come out of the darkness and eat you.
And they rip me apart?
Yeah. You do not gain the benefits of a long rest.
No. It's okay. I don't need it.
But that is where we're going to end for the night.
Oh, so much
A
to
big
pick
thank
up.
you. As always, we're back in action here. But Jill, Kelly, Joe, all sitting nice and close together once more here in the driver's seat.
And a huge thank you to Kyle for also being here in person tonight. Oh,
Are you
Does he
ready?
know that?
Woo!
Yeah! We did it!
there you go, guys. Kyle back in the hot seat. Thank you so much for running the stream tonight, switching over all of our new cameras,
Yeah.
getting that sound
Yeah.
going, making
Amazing.
dreams come true.
Yeah.
And a special thank you to our dungeon master, Monty Martin, for
Thank you.
not killing us tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And
It's not the same list anymore, is it? We
Nope.
don't know.
no,
the
we've upgraded
Yeah.
to such a fantastic modular set. Tell
Yeah.
us more about it, Monty. Like this is...
So if you're wondering, all this is Dwarven Forge's city builder stuff, with some cool stuff by printable scenery as well. So some of this is 3D printed stuff. Some of it is Dwarven Forge stuff. We'll get the full list going sometime if you're wondering. The cool little house, that's printable scenery. The big house, it's Dwarven Forge. Trees, Dwarven Forge. Good stuff.
Joe, who does our music?
Table and music by Tabletop Audio.
Yeah. We also have awesome character artwork by Jeremy Cole. And I guess we have dice. we have dice, too.
Dice,
We have fun
dice.
things. But in any case, but most importantly, to thank, actually, I think our videos and live streams are made possible thanks to the generous support of our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy our work, please consider becoming a patron of our show by heading over to patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store. You can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including Dusk Wardens, yes, and Way Bigger Than Ducks. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community, which is exclusive for our patrons. So if you join us on Patreon, you can join us on Discord, and you can chat with us about all things Drakkenheim, all things D&D, about the upcoming the upcoming book that the Kickstarter just finished for. So you can chat with us about all the goodies happening there.
Yeah, or you can get on over to Drakkenheim.com and pre-order it if you did miss out on the Kickstarter.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be full of cool stuff. So yeah, make sure to join us on Discord and chat with us.
Yeah, Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything D&D. So check that out at youtube.com/Dungeon Dudes.
And be sure to join us live next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. And the videos are also all available on YouTube as well. They go up on the following Friday. And they're also available that Friday as a podcast. So you can find us on podcast as well.
Thank you all so much for watching. And again, bearing with us as we come back in person for the very first time. We would love to hear your feedback on how the setup worked tonight. We're going to be making some more improvements. So please let us know your feedback, your thoughts, how this worked for you. We're going to keep tuning things up. Hopefully next week we'll have the new mics. Yeah. Looking forward to those. Yes. These microphones served us very well for a year, but they're going to retire, and hopefully, fingers crossed, next week we have the fancy new mic system. So
Stay tuned.
Indeed. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in the shadows of Drakkenheim.